Many people, might think that one is crazy when you're talking certain things. If you've not been following, if you've not been studying, you will not, some of these things will not make sense to you. I don't have time. Well, if you go and compare some of the things that Daniel said about the Antichrist and the things that John the Revelator saw about the Antichrist, if we look at it generally, we'll find that Donald Trump is thinking some of those boxes. Like I said, he might not be the Antichrist, but I want to prepare myself, and I want you to prepare like as if he is, because there are so many other things that are falling in place that are scary or troubling. First of all, if you're using most of the people some of the researches I've made, they talked about biblical calendar. The calendar that God is using to measure time is different from the one that we are using. We're using the Roman Greek calendar at the moment. So many things will look like they're out of place when you want to compare them to what God's timing really is. Based on some of the things I've researched, like I said, I'm not giving facts here. You go and find out your facts yourself. I'm just giving you, I want to put something in your mind. And what I want to put in your mind is urgency. Either you think rapture is tomorrow or not. Either it happens between now and 2030 or 2032, some people say, or within the final 50 years, where they're saying that this last 50 years fall into the final Jubilee. And Jubilee, according to God's calendar, is 50 years. And people are saying, some of the scholars I'm studying and some of the researchers I'm making, they're saying there's a 7 year that is in the 70th year of Daniel's prophecy. There's the last 7 year, and they're saying we are in our generation currently, between me and you, we are in the last seventh year. And in that last 7th year is when that there will be a signing of a treaty, which Donald Trump is doing now, which we are seeing that Donald Trump is doing. That's why we are saying this. And that treaty encompasses an alliance with different people, which I've mentioned before. And then the problem with this whole treaty thing is that, we can't really trust Trump. He's someone that is erratic. And then number two, you can't. How do we explain blasphemy? Trump is very pompous with his words. Even the book of Daniel said that that king is going to be very pompous. He's going to have like a lot of words and everything. And Trump is someone that his words is, how he talks is unique. That's another thing. And he's done a lot of tariff system. Daniel talks about this king having doing things that have to do with tariff systems. So those are some of the things that I'm looking at. And then that little horn replaces 2 other kingdoms also. We are seeing that Trump is grabbing kingdom like an emperor. And Trump also, America has something to do with Rome being brought from, we can trace Rome in America's history or whatever they say. So like I said, I'm not bringing facts here because I want to do sharp, you understand? Nigerian people don't have time to read certain things. So I'm just trying to give like quick summary about some of these things that he's saying. And now you say, if you go and read the book of Daniel, you say, some of those prophecies have been fulfilled through time. That is, different people that have acted like the Antichrist have shown some of those traits, and it has passed in those years. But as we're looking at it, it seems like it's one particular person that everything will culminate on. And everything might not show up on one person. Who knows? You can't tell. That's the thing. With God, he codes a lot. So you need to be digging like you're digging for gold. And you'll be wondering, why is he hiding this thing from you? He's hiding it so that you can find him. And the more you search, you go after somebody, means you love that person. If you like a girl, you'll be like men. They say that if a man likes a woman, he will keep pursuing. So God wants us to be in continuous pursuit, and the more we pursue, the more he reveals. So if you're not pursuing, that means you don't love him. That means you don't care. You just want to know about the surface, and that's where most Christians stay. And that's why when the rapture happens, and there are a few people that are first taking the first set, according to what scholars are also saying. And if you look at it, there's a possibility that it can be so, because not many of the people will be ready. However, those people that will be taking, those few that will be taking, they will not go and be taken and just be enjoying their life in heaven, while other Christians will be on earth suffering, or where people will be running around for the mark of the beast or whatever. It's possible that they are still on earth trying to help, because it's not only Jerusalem that Jesus is coming for. There's Africa there. There are kingdoms that have to be conquered in Africa. But I personally know that God has been conquering certain things in the realm of the spirit, because I have spiritual experiences. Because some of these things are not in the Bible, you cannot really explain it to people. That's why I put it out there sometimes. But sometimes some people will think I'm mad. But I've had spiritual experiences where God is bringing out kingdoms, certain tribes and nations within Nigeria, and some other people might be having these experiences that they've not met other people that are experiencing it, so they don't know who to explain it to. So there are kingdoms that God is conquering from the realm of the spirit. Everything, people are thinking that they should see everything in the physical. Oh, he should come and conquer this kingdom. Jesus will have to get the Ugandan kingdom. You have to get the Zulu kingdom. You have to get the Chinese kingdom. You have to get the so all these kingdoms must come to him. I am suspecting Mr. Trump, and I am telling you that you should open your eyes. Open your eyes, open your mind. These are the days now. I am trying to wake you up as a Christian, because immediately I saw that tree sitting, boom, alarm. And then I started going back to say, okay, this is character, this is attitude. Yeah, why I like some of the things he's doing. The Antichrist clearly looks like someone that have split personality, which Mr. Trump here, he's having split personality, like schizophrenia. But he's good in one part, and is and that's why they will accept the Antichrist, because he will actually look like a good guy. He will actually look like a good guy. So, and now I'm just saying this because there's also another one that I read about something called the Essenes. There are some kind of people that were in the Old Testament during Jesus, before Jesus was born. They were gathering a timeline based on when Christ will appear. I just want to let you know, to cut the story short, you go and do your research. They are saying that from 2025, most surely even when Trump shows up, that we go into the final phase of 50 years. So add your age now to 50 and see if you are still going, if there's a potential, just normal, if you can be alive within that time. If you have not entered 100 or something, that means you are going to be in this end time. So, and Jesus Christ is supposed to come anytime within those 50, that jubilee period. That's the 50 years, which is the last jubilee that we are in, that you are in. That's why I'm saying you should wake up. And now Trump is signing treaty, and we know that according to the book of some of the scholars that we've listened to, they've said once the treaty has been signed, that is where the covenant, the short is in the book of Daniel. Once the covenant has been signed, which Trump has gone to sign in Davos now, it means that it means that you begin to see the sign. You activate Daniel's 70th week. Daniel's 70th week. The last phase of Daniel's 70th week, which is 7 years. Okay, let's assume that we want to add 7 years to 2025 or 2026. Let's assume it's 2026 because it's just signed it yesterday. 2026, 2027, 2026, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 2030, 2031, 2032. That means, and according to what the book of Daniel says, it says that when he confirms this covenant, when the Antichrist confirms this covenant, for 3.5 years, he will behave like a good person. The last 3.5 years, he breaks the covenant. In the middle of 7 years, that's 3.5, he breaks the covenant. Darling, we don't know what Trump can do in the next 3.5 years. And according to the Bible, that since the first, when he signs the covenant, it is the time that the seals are activated. So you then go back to the book of Revelation. You find that, let me quickly go to that seal because I've explained it before. You see, he's looking like him because the white horse is So, and then let me quickly talk about, I've spoken about the seal just briefly before that time in the last video, but I want to talk about the false prophet. Now it might be the Catholic Church which is the most proposed view, but the reason why I'm suspecting Elon Musk and his people is this, because I don't know the Catholic Church, although they said the Catholic Church is into, what do you call that thing, into space and extraterrestrial researches. But why I'm just worried about, because Elon Musk is the strongest man that is into technology, and space rockets are going up and down into galaxies, into space. If Daniel was looking at that time, or John the Divine, Apostle John, he'll be wondering that, wow, this is a wonder. In their time, something is flying out of space. That's sign, and that's miracle. That's a miracle. So it could be like, a miracle to him, and that's why he said it in his own way. That's why I think, yes, the Catholic Church might have something to do with it. However, see the beast of the sea, the beast from the earth. The beast from the earth. He said, then I saw another beast. This is Daniel Revelation chapter 13. He said, then I saw another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb and spoke like a dragon. It might be the Catholic Church, it might be the Pope, or it might be Elon Musk and his team. Don't be my Elon Musk problem. And he exercises the authority of the first beast in his presence, and caused the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Let's not lie. Donald Trump had a wound though. Yeah, we know that it was God that protected him. Let me just let you know that God is the one that will still put the Antichrist in position. You understand? It's God that will put the Antichrist in position. He's the one that will make him win an election. He's the one that will make him do everything. And he needs Christians to make sure that even happens. And that's one of the reasons why we prayed so that everything could fall in place. Everything must fall into the puzzle. You understand? So don't say, oh, but you Christians were the ones supporting him before. I still support some of the things he's doing. You understand? There's certain things that he's doing that I don't support. But when I see certain things that I need to calculate. So that's why I'm taking this step. I'm not a sentimental. I get sentimental. My husband will say I get sentimental. But sometimes when it comes to things that I have to do that's serious, I have to take it seriously. So I can't assume and go and think that he's not. When he now becomes I'll be shocked. There will be no time to be saying, oh, I did not know. They will take people. Jesus Christ will take people he needs to take, and I cannot afford to, I want to go and then come back. We are going to come back, so it's not because we are running away. We're just going to sort things out, then we'll be taking care of other kingdoms. Now he was granted power to give breath to the image. So this beast from the earth, right? He deceived those who dwell on earth by those signs which he was granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived. He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. So these are the people. These are the Elon Musk, the technocrats are the ones that can make an image like that. An AI, the dragon. The artificial intelligence. They are making them into different kind of humanoids. So you can imagine. Is it not the ones that can? Is it not the richest man on the earth? He's the one that can do this kind of a thing. That's why I suspect him, and maybe it's him and his group. It causes all, both small and great, rich and poor. And because he's a friend with Donald Trump, I'm thinking maybe he's the one that will not encourage you to say, let's do it. Yeah, like I said, I'm not really a Catholic Church. I know people say that. No, I'm just trying to be more practical in the approach I'm seeing here. That is the man that can actually make. Then he's also making Neuralink and so many things. So he's the one that can actually make people take the mark of the beast. He said chapter from verse 16. He said he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand and their foreheads. Who is doing Neuralink? It's strong. What's his name? Elon Musk. And then he's what do you call him? He's a friend to Trump. So they can say, look, let's make a what do you call it? An AI robot that looks like Trump, because people like Trump now. So you can't tell. And he says next thing he'll say, let's do it. And Trump like all those kind of things. This thing looking like a hype thing. Like I said, don't take it too seriously, but just consider it. It might sound stupid, might sound foolish, but just consider it. Because I don't see how the Pope will want to force people to do this. There's a possibility that tomorrow he changes or what, But just practically looking at it, it sounds to me like something that Elon Musk and Trump can do. So, and we know that Trump was wounded. So he said that the beast that was wounded and got well and resurrected. Didn't he resurrect by coming back in the second term? You know, it's these little things that we should consider. You understand? It's these little things that we should consider. And if Trump is going to be the Antichrist truly, let's go and see what happens when the seals are broken. The seals are broken first before Trump acts and the judgment comes. So, vision of the Son of Man. Lamb takes the scroll. The first seal. Aha. So, Revelation chapter 6, like I said, I'm not a professional in Bible. This I read the things to learn for myself. I read the book of Enoch, Jubilee, all of it to learn for my own sake. Because me, I'm waiting for the arrival of Christ. And if I'm waiting for him, there's a way you'll be searching, and there's a way you'll be watching, and there's a way you'll be living. I'm trying my best, but it's only God that can choose who is who. He's the only one that knows our hearts. May we meet him prepared and ready. So Revelation chapter 6, it says, "Now I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard one of the four living creatures saying the voice like a thunder, 'Come and see.' And I looked, and behold, a white horse. He who sat on it had a bow, and a crown was given to him. And he went out conquering and to conquer." Sure, the way that Donald Trump is going, it's not looking like he's going out to conquering and to conquer. Because the man is, yay. So, then when they opened the second seal, I heard the second living creature saying, "Come and see." Another horse, fiery red, went out, and it was granted to the one who sat on it to take peace from the earth, and the people should kill one another, and there was given to him a great sword. So they form a peace alliance. The peace alliance has the Islamists there, it has the this there, it has the that there, the crown prince. You know, all these people, we don't know how they will do this alliance that it will now cause war, because they might not be able to mix. We don't know how to agree. And according to the Bible, you are not supposed to share the land of Israel. Jerusalem is God's inheritance. Jerusalem is God's inheritance, and Jerusalem is the place that Jesus is going to rule from. And the enemies of God know that Jerusalem, they want to corner it so that land will not be taken. And if that land is divided to both Gaza and Israel, there will be a problem. God will not allow it to, because it's his land. That you like it or not, for you that like Gaza more than Israel. So that second one caused war. And we are seeing a lot of wars about to rise. So what should you be doing? Be preparing yourself for your finances. Don't go and be buying fine clothes and be buying Gucci. It's like time that you should be maybe go and buy one land in the bush somewhere, so that in case problem happens, you can run down there. When he opened the third seal, I heard the third living creature say, "Come and see." So I looked, and behold, a black horse. Of course, when there's war, there will be economic downturn. People will start, there will be diseases and all these things. Black horse, and it had a pair of scales in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four living creatures saying, "A quarter of wheat for a denarius." That is very expensive. Things start getting expensive. Hyperinflation. So after a war happens, inflation, economic downturns, that's the third horse. Then the fourth seal, when he opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth living creature saying, "Come and see." So I looked, and behold, the pale horse, and the name who sat on it was Death, and Hades followed with him. The power was given to him over a fourth of the earth to kill with sword, with hunger and death. Of course, there is war, there is economic problem, there is poverty, and people start dying. People start getting sick. No hospitals are opened. You know how COVID went. So that's where I will stop with those four parts. And then the fourth part, the fifth seal, was the martyrs that were crying that God should come and rescue them, and God said that they should wait so that the amount of people that must die will die. And then the sixth seal, there was a great earthquake, and the sign of Christ began to show. That was when Jesus Christ came. And when he came, he said, they blow the trumpet. Even the Bible even said, that part is one part. I don't want to continue that part. But the other part is how Trump, says peace, peace, peace. He's forming man of peace everywhere. Even the Bible says that this man will be a man of peace. So that's why I'm again. I'm just trying to give my case. I'll build my case as to why I'm wary of Trump. The Bible says when they say peace, 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 then suddenly things go haywire, which you are trying to do now. So please keep your eyes open. Start realigning your life with Christ so that you don't miss out. The main reason why I'm saying this is because all the virgins, the story of the parable of the virgins, all the virgins slept. It was only when the bridegroom came, it was only half of them that were ready. So that means 50% of the church might be ready and 50% might not be ready. And you don't want to be among the 50% that will not be ready. So please put your house in order. Put your house in order. We need to talk about this 144,000. This 144,000, I believe they've been chosen in the spirit before he even came to pick them physically. So, and don't be scared of rapture. After the rapture, the rapture, I still feel like people are getting. I feel like Jesus is not coming to just take people and going to go and be enjoying and be doing party in heaven. Why do be other people, human beings on earth, Christians or not Christians, that are not, that are running around from the beast? I feel like he will not do that. I feel like the reason he came to pick people that are ready for him is that those people that are ready, they have learned a lot to become the judges of the next age, and he will give them assignments to go and start helping those other people that are remaining on earth. I believe so. That this 144,000 is that he chose in the tribe of Israel. It's not just the people that are in Israel. There might be 144,000 in Uganda, 144,000 in Zimbabwe, 144,000 in different parts of the world, in China, in Europe, in different places of the world. And it might even be by groups. It might be by nations. Might be by nations. Some in Africa, most especially, if join people that are not nations together as nations. So, and that's why when John the Apostle, when he saw the first 144,000, then he said he saw a lot of people that he could not number. Those are the other people from different parts of the earth. Because the Bible does not clearly say, it might not clearly say it in words about how, the different peoples, how you restore the other kingdoms. Because there are different kingdoms on the earth. Before, nobody was ruling in democracy. They were kingdoms. God is a monarch. He deals with kingdoms. He does not deal with all this democracy that we are doing now. So, God knows how many kingdoms there are totally on earth. And he will clean this kingdom, and they will reclaim them back for God. Then we'll talk about how the trumpets and all these things also happen in some other videos. So I'm just giving my case about Donald Trump. Bye.